Well, hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Kneady Homesteader channel and the 5 P's of Pantry Preparedness Workshop, where for the next 5 weeks, we are going to be focusing on our pantries and stewarding our homes, our kitchens, our pantries well. Last week, we talked about peace and pantry peace and what that looked like. We talked about the hoarder mentality versus the stewardship mentality. This week we're actually going to now we're going to be moving into preparing. Planning is peace, but preparation is power. So now we're going to start diving in. There are a few things that I want to hit on this week. I also have a worksheet again printed out for you that will give you some goals to focus on this week. This PDF is going to be free and available to you on my new website. I wanted to announce that to you guys. I was going to do a separate video, and I might still do a separate video, but I want you to know that I now have a website. It's called kneadyhomesteader.com. I'll put a link or the name of it right here. I'll also leave a link down in the description box for you. I have this workshop there along with many of my other more popular workshops. I also have all the PDF downloads for you, so you can print them off for free and use them, put them in your homesteading binder. Make a little packet for yourself so that you can kind of keep organized and refer back to some of these sheets as we work through them. So thank you to my girlfriend Constance over at Cosmopolitan Cornbread, who worked so lovingly and diligently into wee hours of the night building this site for me. And I'm so excited to bring it to you guys. It's going to be at my hub, my hub, where you'll be able to find all the things that I'm doing easily. So we're keeping it very streamlined, so it's really easy to navigate for people like me who are a bit more techie challenged. So go over, you can sign up for my free newsletter, get on my email list, and I will see you over there. But this worksheet will be available to you over there. So I figured instead of just sitting here and talking to you guys, there are things in my pantry that I need to steward. One of them being my spice cabinet. I have talked about my spice cabinet now for a couple of weeks. I need to get in there. I need to refill jars. I need to organize it. I just need to steward it well. It has become a mess. Half of my jars are empty, so I'm having to, either go in my pantry or reach up, have Mina climb up and grab me spices because I can't reach them because I'm not filling my jars. I'm not stewarding my spice pantry well. So I figured while I talk to you today, I'm going to give you, I'm going to put my my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to clean out that spice cabinet so you can clean it out with me. We're going to fill jars together as we talk about preparing. All right, let's go to the spice cabinet. Mita's going to help me though because she can reach up high. I'm not allowed to stand on a stool. It's so frustrating, but we pivot. That's what we do here, right? We pivot. We have challenges. We find a way around them. And for me, my little mini likes to help. So she's going to help me clean out this cabinet, and we'll talk. All right, let's go. Okay, we're going to open up this hot mess of a spice cabinet here, and you can see all of my jars, well, especially my most used spices and seasonings are all empty. So what I've been doing is using big jars, which have to sit up really high. There we go. And it's just really hard for me to reach. I always have to reach them with tongs. It's gotten too much where, cooking ends up not being smooth and easy. So here's my cutie little Minnie who loves to help me. But I want to encourage you guys to, if you have littles, especially even grand littles, get them involved. Teach them stewardship of your home early so that when they have their own home, they'll steward it well as well. So here she is. She's going to help me clear all of this out. And as we do that, I just would like to read you Proverbs 24:27. Prepare your work outside. Get everything ready for yourself in the field. And after that, build your house. Preparation comes before prosperity. You can't expect a harvest without getting the soil ready first, right? That's how we garden. That's how we plant our food. Our homes are no different. So for me, my seasoning cabinet, I can't be set up for success when it comes to cooking a meal for my family without frustration, without setbacks, without it being time consuming, if I'm not stewarding my seasoning cabinet. So that's what I'm working on this week. And I just want you to kind of focus on that. Last week we talked a lot about planning our pantry like a steward and not a hoarder. And this week we're taking that plan and we're putting it into action. We're going to prepare, because planning is peace, but preparation is power. So from paper to pantry, we're putting the plan now that we set for ourselves last week into motion. Taking last week's inventory and shopping lists and turning them into real, usable pantry staples. We're going to be choosing where to store our bulk food safely and efficiently. We talked about cool, dark, dry places, how to batch shop and shop only sales, seasonal produce. We don't want to buy anything that's not on sale. Organizing our shelves, labeling our jars. You'll see that I have all my seasonings labeled. I'm going to be putting them in little jars where they're more manageable and easy for me to reach. And I'm going to get rid of all these big containers and put them in my pantry on the seasoning shelf that I have in the pantry. And she needs a little help. I was so afraid she was going to fall, but she reassures me all the time she's a big girl and she'll be okay. But I still have to hold my baby up. We're going to talk about setting aside a prep day each day to refill your jars, to rotate older stock, to update your lists. My day is on Sunday. That's when I meal plan. We're home. It's just easy for me. It's kind of a quieter day. I can meal plan. I can get in my pantry, touch everything, rotate things, get a basket filled with things that I need to use up. And so that's when I like to do my day, but your day might be different. But if you set one day aside a week to do this, it will be so helpful to you guys. Preparation is not panic. It is peace in motion. I want you to remember, you guys, we are not stockpiling food. We're stewarding what God's given us already. We're preparing our pantry because it's an act of care for not only your household and your future, but for others who may be in need. I want you to remember that you can't feed anyone from an empty pantry. Preparation is love in action. It's how we provide for not just our homes and storms that may be coming, but for others as well, people in need. If you want to serve your family, your friends, your neighbors, you have to do it from a well-stocked pantry. Preparation is an act of love, not an act of fear. Now, I want to talk a little bit about leftovers, and I know that leftovers have a bad rap. I know a lot of people do not enjoy them. I know a lot of people, once they've eaten something once, that's it. I've heard some of you will eat it twice and then that's it. Leftovers in my house are not a waste. They're not scraps. They're seeds. That's how I consider them. Leftovers are seeds. They can become something so much more when they're stewarded well. They're future provision. Preparation honors what God has already placed in our hands, and leftovers are included in that. So like last week when I had leftover taco dinner, I was able to use those leftovers and turn it into a chili night, using up a lot of those leftovers. And then the next day for lunch, we were able to make bean and rice burritos. So our leftover taco night actually lasted 3 meals, and I had no waste. I had nothing to feed to the chickens or to dump in my garbage. It was fantastic. And if you look at your leftovers as money, then they're a lot easier to use up. Now, there are a few things that I want to remind you, because preparing means doing what you can with what you have. It doesn't mean that you need to stockpile to begin preparing. Okay, you don't need to stock it up. You don't need a whole massive quantity of food to begin preparing. Preparation begins with perspective, not purchasing. Okay, I want you to remember that. You work with what you already have in your hands. And I want to, for the believers out there, remind you that God often multiplies what is already present, like the loaves and the fish. He doesn't make something come out of nothing, right? He didn't provide steak and burgers, right? Because steak and burgers weren't there. He multiplied what was already there, the loaves of bread and the fish. So you will find when you start stewarding your home well and your pantry well, it is going to serve you. It is going to stretch. It is going to multiply. Some days you're not even going to know how it does it and how a leftover makeover fed everybody. But it does, and it will, because that is the goodness of our God. I know we talked about this last week, but I really want to emphasize buying on budget-friendly staples that stretch meals. I want you to think rice, beans, eggs, potatoes, lentils, canned tomatoes, flour. Shop with a plan based on what you already have, so don't buy multiples. You'll see even in my spice seasoning cabinet I have multiples of some things, and it's annoying. Like our honey, we had 3 open honeys. 4. Actually, we had 4. We found a 4th one. That is really bad stewardship. So don't do that. So I mentioned that I made a Pantry Peace Workshop week 2 printable download for you. It's going to kind of be your homework sheet. Your scripture anchor is going to be from Proverbs 24:27. Prepare your work outside. Get everything ready for yourself in the field. And after that, build your house. So your goal this week is to choose one area of your home to prepare and bring into order. Kind of like my out of order spice cabinet here. Steward what you already have before adding more to it. It will cut on your stress and your anxiety so much. It's so nice to lay hands on everything, clean everything, touch everything, rotate everything. It brings such a peace of mind, and just being organized, it just sets everything into the right motion. So this week I want you to just hone in on one area, okay? I gave you a list of several that you can choose from. You can clean and organize one pantry shelf, or like me, my spice cabinet. You can refill and label jars or containers, much like I'm doing here, refilling jars. Everything is already labeled. There was a point in time, though, where I bought these little spice jars. I'll leave a link to them down below. I got them off of Amazon, and then they come with sticker sheets. So all the bottles, give them a good wash, a good drying. I let mine dry overnight, so there was no moisture in them. And then you can pick the stickers and put them on the jars, and it's so nice using these little jars. They're just easier for me to manage. The cabinet isn't overwhelming. And then when I buy all of these spices and these seasonings in bulk, as you see, either from Costco or Sam's Club or Gordon Food Service, when I buy, or even Amazon, I buy some on Amazon as well. It's easier to keep the big containers in my pantry because they're bulky and they take a lot of space. So, but in my kitchen, the footprint is much smaller on these little jars.
So maybe do something like that. You can create a use first basket in your pantry and put all your older items in there, and then meal plan with those items on your list. That way you're using it up. It's not spoiling, it's not expiring. You're getting it rotated and getting it out of your pantry. So if you're noticing there's something in your pantry that's been sitting there for a while that you have not used, bring it forward, put it in that basket, and meal plan around it. Get it used up and get it moved out. You could write down 3 meals that you can make from your pantry. Don't buy anything outside from the store. Strictly meal plan from things that you already have on hand. If you can do that, that's going to save you so much money right from the get-go. You can make a list of pantry staples that you always want on hand. What are things that you use on a constant basis? To my surprise, this weekend I wanted to make buttermilk biscuits for breakfast on Saturday morning, or actually Sunday morning, and I didn't have any powdered buttermilk. Then I realized I didn't even have any powdered milk left for my bread baking. I just had a little bit left that was in my baking pantry. So I had to order on Amazon both of those items. I was out of cream of tartar. I was out of baking soda. So those are things that I use regularly. So if you notice that there is something that you use on a regular basis, keep them in a list and make sure that you have those items and maybe one put by so that you never run out. You can work on that list. Maybe batch prep a freezer meal this week. Maybe check expiration dates and rotate your stock in your pantry. Maybe go through your pantry and donate or share extras that you don't use or things that you don't end up liking. I know my son Eric moved out and he really liked shrimp ramen. Nobody here likes shrimp ramen. So I'm going to gift that to somebody that does like shrimp ramen. So, maybe do that on your list this week. Also, there's some prompts in there for reflection. If you keep a journal or you're writing in a book and somewhere, you might want to just kind of think on these questions. The first one, what did I prepare this week? Sometimes reflecting back and really focusing on what we're doing, it helps us feel more productive. Sometimes we can be really hard on ourselves, but if you write it down on what you did, you can feel a little bit better that you are being proactive. Number two, how did it make you feel to take this step towards stewardship? You will notice that it makes you feel a lot better when you're being proactive. What peace did preparation bring to your heart and your home this week? And how can I keep this momentum going forward into next week? These are just some things that you might want to think about and reflect upon. And then I do have a little thing I called encouragement corner, where I want to remind you that preparation is love in action. It's how we provide for our homes before the storm comes. And I want to remind you that you can't feed others from an empty pantry. So this isn't about being selfish or being a hoarder, having that heart posture. This really is love in action. It's the same with cleaning our homes. It is use that time to praise the Lord for what He has given you, what He has blessed you with, and it just makes you appreciate everything so much more. I follow this one lady on Instagram who talks about romanticizing your life, and when you begin to do that and really count your blessing, really see the blessings that have been poured over you, the fact that you have a home, the fact that you have heat and water and food, and then the comforts of your couch or your bed, a cozy blanket, like all of these things that so many people wish that they had, and hope and dream to have. If you're blessed with it, just appreciate it. You don't need more. You just need to love what you already have. And from that position, man, does your heart posture really change.
Well, I hope and I pray that this video was a blessing to you in some way. I'm praying that this workshop is for somebody out there who desperately has been needing it, has been wanting it, and I hope that you guys are finding some enjoyment out of it as well. I do, again, have a worksheet for you. You can find that over on kneadyhomesteader.com. The link will be down below. Love to see your progress. So if you have any photos, if you want to leave comments, leave them down below, tag me in them. I think you can post them now over, I think you can tag me here on YouTube. I know you can leave them in posts over on Facebook. You can tag me on Instagram. Like, tag me. I would love to see what you're doing and see how you're stewarding your home. I'm going to leave you with Luke 16:10. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with very much. And as we prepare, as we focus on actually doing now this week in our homes, I hope and encourage you to check out some of the scriptures that, see what God says on stewardship. We are going to be focusing on provide. And until then, I hope you have a very blessed week. I will leave links here, somewhere here, to the workshop, to week 1, in case you missed it. And I'll also leave a video to my leftover makeover of chili this past week, where I took leftover taco meat and a taco dinner, and I actually got 2 meals out of those leftovers. And so I hope that's a blessing for you. I'm going to try to be more mindful of filming leftover makeovers for you, and let me know what you're doing for leftovers and your makeovers. I'd love to hear it. So with that, I will see you back here next Monday when we talk about provision. I'll see you next week. God bless.